let him start, and then we'll open up the questions, Coach, whenever you're ready.
Well, that was a hell of a lot of fun, and I think I said it before, but to see our guys smiling the way that they are right now was really, really cool, and to see them overcome adversity and fight themselves through it and find a way to finish. They took some steps and moved forward, and that was really, really cool. And I thought that was awesome, and I'm proud of them as can be. I'm proud of this coaching staff, the way they worked with these guys throughout making it happen. And tell you the other thing I thought was pretty cool was the Beaver Nation out there tonight. That was awesome. The folks we had here, they were wound up, and I think it was a big deal to them. And it was good to see them smile again too. And so anyhow, that's what I had to say about that. I had a good time, and if y'all do this the right way, we can continue to have a good time. How's that?
Coach, in the second half there, you guys forced 5 consecutive 3-and-outs. Just what was kind of the message to those guys in the huddle, and what was it like seeing them really pull through that performance?
Well, I was happy about that because we were doing it, we were making negative yardage plays. A lot of what was happening there. We did a better job of pressuring the quarterback throughout the course of the night tonight, and that was with a 4-man rush at times, and we did it in a different fashion that way. So I was really excited for those guys to start having some of that success and make those things happen. I think we talked about this maybe a couple days ago, maybe in this room. We haven't had enough sacks and hits on the quarterback, and we did a better job doing that tonight. So, that the growth that showed, and it was necessary. I mean, it was 2 defenses fought their tails off out there tonight. Well, 2 football teams fought their tails off out there tonight. And but to answer your question, I was proud of those guys for what they did there, and they stepped up, and it was a good thing. We had one of those was was a scenario where they we kind of had ourselves backed up and pushed them out, even out of the opportunity to be able to be a field goal chance. So. That's some good stuff that you want your defense to be able to accomplish to help your football team, to help your offense, to help everybody. So it was good parts, and looking forward to the next ones.
And when they missed that field goal there at the end of the game, that one hooks. What kind of goes through your brain?
That was awesome. I can't say anything more than that. What went through my brain first was, all right, we don't have to worry about overtime right now. How do we make sure we get out of here? We still have the ball in our hands. That's what you pay attention to at that point in time. But that was awesome. I think the pressure had to have helped that ball to be moved out of there, and our guys fought their tails off, and so that was cool. It was fun, and it's fun to win a rival game. It's fun to win a conference game. It's fun to be in first place in the conference.
Rob, did you put Malik in the game because Jabari got hurt, or were you going to insert him anyway?
Yeah, we had Jabari wasn't healthy, and Malik came in, and I thought did a hell of a job. And and then kind of like we talked about, remember y'all asked me after the last game, what's going on with the quarterbacks? That quarterback room is doing a hell of a job, and they looked after each other tonight, and so that was cool. And we'll find out what the status of Jabari is going to be as we move forward. But I'm proud of both those guys. I thought they did great.
It's not often you can win a game with 187 yards total offense. Talk a little bit more about your defense and the job they did.
We know the beautiful thing about that is you can have 187 yards, you can have 587 yards, you get no points for that. We have more points than they did, and that's what mattered. And our guys were fighting their tails off, and I'm not trying to be a smartass, I apologize. Our guys fought their tails off, and I was proud of the defense. They were matching efforts, and their goal was to get the ball back to their offense, so the offense could go make some things happen. I felt like we were really close on a couple of those drives that we could have made it continue to go, and but that's why they call it football. And if you got 2 defenses fighting the way that they were tonight, I'm sure they're saying probably the same thing over on on the other side of the stadium right now too. But I thought the guys fought their butts off, and that's all the whole team, not just the defensive dudes, the whole team. I thought our offensive dudes too, guys did too. We did it down there to, they said he wasn't close enough to the touchdown, so we went in there and proved it again. They made things happen that way. So there may not have been the flashy numbers, and the scoreboard wasn't lit up, but that's a good football game if the scoreboard isn't real high. If you got defenses are playing good, that's not bad. And the bottom line is, whatever it takes to win the damn game, that's what matters the most. And our guys found a way to do that. And all 3 phases of the game, I thought, contributed to the deal. And so that's pretty cool.
Speak to the decision making that came with putting in Jabari instead of Malik the first half.
The decision making? Well, we had 2 guys that have been doing a good job. We've been working to get them both out there more. And, so the decision got made. before 4:30 today. So told you that room has done a good job. They both have done well. And you know, I think both those guys have done some good things, and Jabari obviously, had done some good things that you know, earned him that opportunity. There's some good competition going there, and so I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought it was really cool that you know, we didn't blink and the next guy came in to go do his job too. So we'll continue to grow that as it happens. I don't know if that answered your question or not, but that's kind of how we got there.
One more though, could you kind of speak to the differences between these guys, kind of their style of play and what you like about it or don't like?
What did you notice any difference between the two of them? One of them I get to look up to. The other one I can rest my arm on his shoulder pretty good, right? You know, and they both have traits that are kind of unique to each other, and they both fit within what we do as an offense, and they both are able to make things happen in a little bit different fashion, obviously. And so I think that's a pretty good compliment that you can have. And you know, as a defensive dude, when you have to face somebody that's got guys that are, you know, different in that respect, you have to. It forces you to have a little bit more in your package to have to be able to contend with the two of them.
2 weeks ago, Rob, we were sitting here and you kind of talked about how all it takes is kind of one game to kind of light that spark and kind of get things going. Specifically on defense tonight, you know, you shut out Lafayette and then to come in and hold Washington State to 7 points. How much do you think the defense was able to build on what you guys showed against Lafayette?
Well, I think the big thing that I saw was guys, and I think I said it maybe to y'all before too. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I think you're seeing guys start to play a little bit more free. You know, I think that contributed to our pass rush a little bit tonight. You know, guys were going after it pretty good and finding their way to be able to get there. And guys were more going after it to make plays rather than worrying about giving up a play, if that makes sense. And nobody tries to go about giving up play, but when you have the weight that had been carried on those shoulders for 7 weeks, you know, that had been prior, human nature kind of runs into it a little bit. And so as success starts to take place a little bit, I think that helped. And so it's easy to stand there in front of them in the locker room at halftime, the whole team, not just the defensive dudes, say, hey, listen, because, I mean, the defensive dudes, I mean, we had opportunity on third down twice, you know, well, more than twice in the first half that would have stopped the drive, you know. And I felt the same way. We were that close on a couple of those offensive possessions in the first half that could have changed what that picture was. Well, it doesn't matter. We get 60 minutes to play the game, and what we've preached to them so hard and so heavy is the play that you get right now is the only one that matters. You know, I might have had the interception on that last play, or I might have scored that touchdown on the last play. Doesn't mean a damn thing on this play. I might have had a great block on that last play. I might have whiffed, or I might have had a guy run by me. It doesn't matter. This play is the one that matters. And I saw them as a team believe in that and continue to fight and not worry about what the scoreboard read. Just find a way to get the job done so it reads the way you want to when we got done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And then just last thing, you know, with the Pac-2, you know, the Pac-2 with these two teams, your connections to Washington State, did this game mean a little bit more to you?
It made it a lot of fun. I'd be lying to you if I told you any different. And you know, it was had 8 fun years there. We've got a lot of friends that are there, and there were a lot of people I saw before the game that I haven't seen in a long time that are they're real close friends to me. There's a guy that's coaching over there that played for me that's coaching over there. Still love him to death, and you know, so that did make it fun. And I've gone against him 3 times since I left Washington State. The first one didn't go so well, but the last 2 have. And so we got to make this next one go the same way too. But we got some work to do before we get to that one. We won't worry about that. But yeah, it was fun. I'd be lying to tell you anything different.
Coach, it seems like in addition to obviously getting the result that you needed, a lot of valuable tape to study from a game where the offense struggled the way that it did. You know, how key is that going to be, you know, going into this next game at Tulsa to try and start a lot better than you guys did?
Well, that's always it's invaluable. All the film that we get, and it's what we film every practice, and we create situations that are going to happen. We created situations that took place out on that field tonight, and that's why some of those plays got made. And you're always evaluating that, and you're always helping guys to get better. And to me, that's the deal. We're gonna, you know, we told them we're gonna coach you hard, and that means enthusiastic. And I think you saw coaches jumping on guys when they made great plays and congratulating them and telling them great job. And you saw guys maybe did something knucklehead, and they got talked to just the same volume. Okay, but it's not, you're not running up there calling him, hey, you've done something again, blah, 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 blah. He already knows what happened, but we can tell him, hey, this is how you fix it. you know, if you get your eyes here or you get your hand here and you squeeze it this way, then that's going to take care of it and won't happen to you next time. So now we've got it all on video, and we're going to see the good, bad, and the ugly. And there's plenty of both, all three of those on that tape, and that's how you grow and that's how you learn. And that's what we will use moving forward, and get ready for that next one. But the next one ain't Tulsa, is it?
No, sir, Sam.
There you go. All good. I'll help you. I'm happy to help.
You're on it a lot more than me. And the last thing I would ask you about is Jaheim. Obviously, 2 picks. And,
That was awesome, wasn't it?
yeah, great performance. Like, what can you say about, what he put in out there?
Well, I was really fired up about that. I thought that was cool. And, I call him Dr. J. And I was happy that he knows who Dr. J was the first time I said that to him several weeks ago. But that was really cool. And, and then he got the second one. That was awesome. I said, we're going to see a trifecta tonight, but I saw teeth, and that was really cool. He was smiling his tail off, and our guys are smiling their tails off right now. And that's, I think that's really, really important. Thank you.
You've talked a lot about seeing smiles in that locker room.
Yep.
What has it meant to you personally to be able to restore some joy on this team?
Well, it means a lot because it's our responsibility, and again, that's what the word coach means. You're there to teach, you're there to help them, you help them grow, and you want to see them have success, and they're smiling when things are going well, and when they're not, you got to show them ways to be able to smile. So I'm happy for them, and I'm proud for what these coaches have done to get them to that situation, and that's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. So I think it's really cool, and I expect them to continue to work to do more, and they will.
Kari was in here earlier and he had some really nice things to say about you, so that's...
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You can fool some of the people some of the time, huh?
Yeah, what does it mean to you, even through the adversity that this team's faced, decisions made that they might have agreed with or not agreed with, that after the coaching change, that these players still trust and rally behind you and have faith in you?
Well, it's us. It's not me. I'd love to tell you it was me, but it's not me. It's us. It's us together. These players and these coaches. The Beaver, that's us. It's us against. We've got to prove it to everybody. Going into the game today, everybody said, "Hey, y'all ain't supposed to win the game." I've been told that before in my life, and I told these guys that my response to that when somebody says, "Hey, you can't do this," I said, "Well, watch me," and that's kind of been our attitude. The fact that they're learning a life lesson in this. It was hard. It was adversity. Well, adversity is going to hit harder than this as they go through life. Whether it's a family member, a child, a business, whatever it is. Things you're going to have to battle through in life, and they're learning how to be able to do that. And hopefully, we're teaching them ways. Some things they can use within it to be able to make that work. We get it's inexpensive in regards to a game as compared to life, if that makes sense. But it's something they'll be able to draw on later, and the way they have responded to each other, because they've been united in this for a long, long time. It goes clear back to before in the off season and that when you spend all that time and all that work and all the energy and the things they do from when they came back after Christmas last year all the way through now, to have things not go that way is painful as hell. So to see it starting to happen for them and then making those things, it means the world, to be real honest with you, and I'm excited for them.
Isaac, last question.
I wanted to ask you about another player. What do you make of Shamar Michaels' performance there for you guys off the edge?
That was cool. I was glad to see the burst come off the edge tonight. That was awesome, and I saw a big smile from him tonight. And that's a guy that's been, he's been growing as we've gone on, and so he was able to put more of it together tonight, and I think that's going to continue to build more and more. He's seeing what he's capable of doing, and he's a great kid. He's a great young man, not a kid. He's a great young man, and he's working at it. It's important to him, and so to be able to be rewarded when you get to go out there and make it happen, I thought was awesome, and I'm excited for him and what he's going to do next.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
You bet. Hey, thank y'all for being here. Go Beefs.
Thanks, Coach.